Hello, from our council chambers in the Monroeville Municipal Building. This is your Monroeville at your service, back for the March 2025 edition of our show. I'm your municipal manager, Alex Graziani, and I'm joined in studio today by the Pennsylvania State Representative of the 25th District. That, of course, is none other than Brandon Markosek. Brandon, welcome.
Thank you, Alex, for having me.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've been one of the delights of my time here. It seemed like when I started last year in January, we were fast friends. You're one of the easiest guys to talk to, and just down to earth as all get out. So I really appreciate that.
No, thank you. Yeah.
But maybe the people in the audience don't know a lot about you. So talk a little bit about yourself. Obviously, the Markosek name is one that people in Monroeville are very familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I've been in office now for 7 years, and it's been great. It feels like I just got this job not too long ago, but it's been 7 years, which is great. Really, just very. I'm proud to be in this position. Over the years, I've been able to advocate, for my constituents back home for a lot of different issues, whether it's grants, providing phenomenal service in my district office for folks. So just really proud and I'm honored to be in this position. I was born in Forbes Hospital, so for me this is this is my home. This town is my home, and so just really honored to be here.
But besides this home, you grew up in the state legislature. I mean, not many 6-year-olds or 7-year-olds can say or claim that they hung out in the House chambers of the Pennsylvania State House.
Yeah, through osmosis, obviously, my father being in this position for quite some time, I was able to see how state government operated. So when I first got elected, I kind of stepped in out of the get-go, really served the constituents to the best of my ability. I worked in the state senate. I was with Senator Jim Brewster for quite some time, and so from seeing that and seeing my father do this, I felt very suited for this job, and we've been very successful. But with that being said, we have a lot of things that I want to get accomplished, not just at the Capitol, but also back home here, which is my big focus. Because I always tell people, when I go to Harrisburg, it's I don't vote for myself. I vote for the 65,000 people that are my voice, that give me that voice when I go to the Capitol. So that's my biggest thing. So I like to be in the community as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be somebody that you can see a giant eagle and come up and say hi to and ask questions. That's something that I really want to be known for.
And I know that because that's exactly how I felt the first time we met. Like I said, it was like fast friends. You really make people feel comfortable and at ease, and you're everywhere.
Yeah, and I try to be. And I talk with a stutter, and I tell people, I have the same problems that everyone else has. Yeah. So I like to, be open about my my problems with my speech, because we all have different issues that we have, and I don't think that should prevent somebody from doing what they want. And
last year you had a successful year in that, because you mentioned 7 years now, but in your 6th year, you're able to get a law in Pennsylvania. I think it's 2268, and talk a little bit about that law that was signed.
Yeah, that was a law that guarantees that children ages 2 to 6 can have access to a speech therapist, which is not the case. So we found that there was a gap in insurance coverage for children. So my own personal experience with stuttering, it was caught when I was 2 years old. So when you can catch it early, you can really treat it early and really change the outcome of that child's life. Roughly 75% of folks actually do grow out of a stutter. I have not, but mine has kind of changed over time. Where 10 years ago, or I shouldn't say 10 years ago, about 20 years ago, I couldn't even say my first name in public, and so now kind of sitting here talking to you, it's kind of come full circle where I'm able to tangibly make change to help kids and also help parents with getting service for their child. So it's really come full circle. The bill was very hard to get to that point, but we were able to get across the finish line in a bipartisan manner. It passed the House 181 to 22, I believe, and then it passed the Senate 49 to 0. So it was really a great thing that got passed, and I was very, very proud of it. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that still need to be done around the issue, whether it's breaking the bad stigma that involves folks that have different disorders, especially with speech. It's something that I've been tackling. I've traveled to different cities and towns to discuss it. I've gone to Gateway. I've gone to Plum. I've gone to different school districts in the area just to tell my story, to tell kids, hey, just because you have something that makes you sound different or makes you, just a little bit different is not a bad thing. And that's been something I've been trying to champion.
Yeah, I've liked the term when people talk about different abilities instead of disabilities,
Right.
Because the fact is none of us have it all together perfect as one might think. So they're just differing abilities. But I'll tell you what, Brandon, when I saw you talk in front of your colleagues in the State House, they gave you a standing ovation.
I think giving a voice to those that sometimes don't is vital, and I think today with House Bill 2268, we're taking that small step in the correct direction. So I just want to say thank you for your support, and look forward to the vote today. Thank you very much.
That wasn't scripted, and that was heartfelt and a very, very moving moment. And I know for you, it had to be hard to continue because your colleagues got up on their feet and they meant it. They really supported it, because the fact is, with differences, people do face challenges, and sometimes, by the grace of God, like you, they're able to overcome.
Yeah.
And you did. So it's great.
Yeah, I was totally shocked by that, because I was just getting ready to give up to get up and talk like I do on the floor normally, and that was not something I thought was going to happen. It really caught me off guard, and the number of calls and texts that I got from people across the country, really, when that got posted online, really was shocking to me, because for so long I thought it was just myself that had this problem with my speech, and I realized that there was so many other folks that had very similar speech issue like myself. So just really wanted to be a strong voice for them, because I feel like for so long folks like myself kind of are a little bit scared to kind of take that extra step. And for me, it was definitely hard too. It was something that, I still practice this day. I still go see a speech therapist, and it's something that I'm very proud to say. And I think, sometimes we need to go seek help.
Yeah, I commend you on that. I think sometimes, whether it's marital counseling or whatever, people have stigmas, mental health, you name it. And I think to myself, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, they've got dietitians, they got coaches, they got advisors, and nobody says, boy, that Tom Brady, he must not be so good at what he does because he needs all that help. And I'm thinking, no, he's that good at what he does because he gets the help. And if people could only realize, whether it's mental health, marital issues, speech issues, or whatever, or personal health, That's what it's there for. And
Right.
the only way to get beyond it or to get better, be like a Tom Brady, if you will, is to get coaching,
Right.
is to get therapy, and there shouldn't be an inhibitor to that. Speaking of being strong, and there's so many things I want to talk about, you were strong for us last year. This time last year, we were reeling with the news, of a convention center closing and what to do next.
A major developing story out of Monroeville.
Part of the convention center here will be converted into a Hobby Lobby.
The bottom line, there will be no more shows here after June 1st.
Leaving organizers scrambling.
Why such a critical piece of the community is being shut down and turned into a chain craft store?
There is a lot of anger, frustration, and confusion.
And with the help of you and others, you were strong and came to the communities, rallied around us to help us save the convention center. We're going to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was a very tough time, but it was something that it kind of showed how state government can really come together, and also with the help of council here, we were really able to come and bring all parties to the table, and I think that was very crucial. It was something that we just could not afford to have happen. That sell, and there was funds in there that were grant monies that were given by the state. So that's why I had a very big interest in that, because that was taxpayer money that was in that building. So it was very crucial that did not get sold away, because it was such a big community asset here in town. So, with the help of my good friend Austin Davis, council as well, we were able to come to a good outcome. So it was just a all on deck approach, and I was just really glad to see that come to a good outcome, because for that center to not be a part of this town just was something that would not sit well with me, and would not sit well with the taxpayers here in town either. And that was something that I fought for very strongly, and it was something that I was glad to see it was able to stay here in town. So really just in the future, looking forward to seeing what comes of the center. I know it's booked almost every. It's booked. It's a great asset. So it's just all hands on deck, and so it was not just myself. It was a lot of folks, but we all saw just how critical that center is, not just to our town, but the entire eastern suburbs. It was just a huge asset. So just really pleased with the outcome.
Yeah, so are we, and you and I could list all the names of everyone involved, but just very appreciative of you. It's interesting because Austin Davis and the county executive and others, you guys were a part of just a few years ago, a class of Allegheny County representatives in Harrisburg, and now I think you're almost the senior member of the Allegheny County delegation in Harrisburg.
Yeah, I think I'm third or fourth in terms of seniority, which is pretty crazy to think about.
It's wild how that's changed.
A lot. We've had some turnovers, but yeah. So I've kind of gone up in terms of seniority in my fourth term. So it's
actually, and I don't know how it all works, but you are in the majority party, so you're chair of the Housing and Community Development Committee. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So in my new role, we're taking on a lot of big issues around zoning primarily, but also keeping our senior population in their homes is a big issue that I personally want to tackle. In our area here, my district has one of the I think I'm in the top 10 in terms of constituents that are over the age of 65. So one of the big things I've noticed is we want to make sure that folks can stay in their homes, and that's a big thing that I've been focused on.
It's an honor for us as well here in Monroeville.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your office. Help the residents know, what is the state representative's office able to do for them?
Yeah, so we cover everything from PennDOT issues, birth certificate issues, tax issues. We do a lot of things, and we're just down the street here. We've been there for 30 some years, so our office it's very good. Can't say enough about my great staff I have. They're here to help. So just anytime you have a concern involving the state, whether PennDOT, driver's license issue, anything of that nature, state tax forms is something we do. We do tax services too. So really, we do offer a lot of different services.
Yeah, the constituent services at a state representative's office like yours is sort of like a branch outlet for all matters state. What I like about you and your team is I've never had a constituent call me that said your office told them to call the municipality. You guys act like it's something you can help with. And then you talk to our staff, and that way we're just serving the public without them getting the runaround. Because nothing worse than being told, oh, you've called the wrong people, we'd love to help you, you need to call so-and-so. You guys just seem to be like handling it and helping us handle it. So I really appreciate that.
No, thank you. And that goes back to my time as being I worked for Jim Brewster, who was our state senator, and being in his office, I saw some of the concerns. So I wanted to bring that into my office, where when someone calls our office, every concern is a big concern. So we never want to send someone else somewhere. We want to make sure that we're giving that person the best service possible. And even if we cannot serve them, we at least want to send them to the correct place, whether it be federal or back here to the borough.
Well, this year looks like it's going to have a lot of what we had last year, which is a lot of things happening. And we'll be looking at the potential redevelopment of the Monroeville Mall and other kinds of investments in the community. And I'm looking forward to working with you this year on those issues. We got a lot to do. I really appreciate you coming on today's show. And any thoughts for us here in 2025 that you think we should be looking for?
Yeah, no, just very excited about what's going on here in town. A lot of good things here with the convention center. Is doing very well. Excited to see what comes of the sale with the Monroeville Mall. But with that, I'm just very excited to see what this upcoming term for myself has. I'm very excited about this opportunity given to me, and I always tell people I don't want to be somebody that you see every 2 years on a ballot. I want to be somebody that you see in public that you feel comfortable coming up to and just saying hi, or if you have a question, coming up to me and talking to me. I like to be just somebody that you can feel comfortable with. And
well, I know Jared and the team will probably put a little thing up here to show everybody how they can get in contact with you, your website and all that good stuff, and maybe the office hours even, because again, you're such a valuable resource. Nobody has the time to go to Harrisburg, and sometimes getting online or even making phone calls isn't as simple as it looks, but they can contact you for a lot of things, all things really, as it relates to the state.
Yeah, we're open 9 to 4:30, just down the street here at 4232 in the Commerce Building across from Gateway Grill. So we'd like to be active as much as possible. I like to go to things personally as much as possible with my staff as well. So anytime we can be a source, I just want to make sure that folks can come to our office.
Well, thank you for being on the show. For those of you who've been watching, doing the math here, 7 years. Wow, you've done a lot in that amount of time, and such a resource for Monroeville. Your dad, Joe, is very proud. He's also a great resource for Monroeville when he's in town. Sometimes he does some traveling these days. But thank you, Brandon, for taking time to be on today's show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Excellent.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
Great job. On the way next, Our library recently hosted one of its most popular events, and it was a whole lot of fun. A recap from the mini golf at the Monroeville Public Library, plus the Manager's Minute coming up after a quick break.